Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Look at me outside the grow out pen yet again with birds still in it. It has just been one of those days, weeks, months. So the birds are ready, right? They need to go. They need to go out into the big flock. These are all, for the most part, birds that are staying with me. The turkey are the only ones that are available to go to other homes. And it's time to move them. We may move them this weekend. Part of the problem has just been life in general is crazy and we've had no time to do it. The other part of the problem was weather, right? I told you we're not moving them when it's, disgusting out. And now that it's gotten cooler, now that the nights are cooler, it is time to move them. So we might move them this weekend. The only problem with this weekend is it is our county fair weekend, so we will be busy again with that activity. You can see our duck is working on his wing strength. So yeah, we'll probably try and work that into the schedule for this weekend if we can. It's important for them to get into the big flock and start to be adult birds. The hardest part will be once they do that, especially for like the duck and the goose. They'll blend right in and I'll never remember which one is which because they all look the same. And I won't, I may or may not be able to identify the sexes of those two. The husband's still convinced the goose is a gander. I don't know, I'm not so sure. And I told you, I'm pretty convinced the duck is a duck and not a drake. But again, won't know for sure for several more months. And by that point, they'll be blended into the flock and I may never get around to announcing our gender reveals. The turkey are showing signs of who's who in terms of hen versus tom. But I will not guarantee that at this time, right? Because hens do sometimes display like toms do. We have a bunch of little ones now that are starting to attempt to display on a more frequent basis. And you would think, okay, boom, that means they're a tom. And it doesn't. They could very easily be a hen and just be a hen that's currently dominant over this grouping. So hens can and will display, especially younger. So the sounds and the noises they make help us identify a little bit, but if I'm going to sell a bird as a quote unquote guaranteed sex, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm correct with that and it's not just a guess. And so that's why they'll stay with us for several more months until I can be sure of that. Our two little ones are still inside, and that's a whole different problem, right? They didn't move out because of the weather change. They're still under a heat lamp because of the weather change. So they may stay inside for longer than planned because the weather has changed, and it changed drastically and it changed fast. So it's kind of too cool to move them outside right now. The nighttime temperatures are cold for baby birds and they're not fully feathered, so it's just not fair to put them outside at this point, so they will continue to wait. And that's the problem with some late hatching, which is why I don't do much hatching in August, because we have this, and then they're inside in September and September gets even colder, right? Like it's a never-ending problem at that point. And then they stay inside until they're ginormous and nobody wants that. So hopefully we'll get the bounce back that I'm expecting. It's only mid-August. We typically do not get this cold at this time of the year, so it's probably going to turn back to heat wave soon. And at that point, we will move the little birds out, and hopefully at that point, all the rest of the big birds, except for the turkey, have been moved out to the big flock, and all will be right in the world. And it'll reduce one stop on the feeding train in the morning and the evening. So that's a quick update on why we haven't moved anybody and what's going on. I hope you are having a fabulous day wherever you are in this world. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will talk to you at the next one. Be kind. Bye for now.